Hey everyone, Phil Conroy hopping on here today, day 21. Now, it's been 3 weeks that we've been sharing these principles of Napoleon Hill so that you can have spring cleaning for your mind. Others in your team can also have spring cleaning for their mind. Ultimately, what outcome we're looking for is have peace of mind. If there is adversity, whatever kind of adversity we go through, be aware and then know that the seeds of something greater lie within that. In other words, we have an opportunity. And there are stories countless times where people have risen above. They've been the phoenix that rises out of the ashes. And how do we not allow whatever is happening outside of you, that conditions, circumstances, other people, the right timing, whatever people look outside, we've got more power inside each one of us than anything we see in the outside. The question is, are we consenting to allow those outside forces to be more powerful than us? Because within us, too, we have invisible forces called faith or fear. And from that faith or the fear, we allow one of those to determine where we're going to go in life. I know we were talking with a group in our mentoring today at Napoleon Hill Institute, the idea of energy, tapping into that creativity. We all have this power inside of us. Think of it for a moment. If there is something that you really love to do, you're drawn to it, whether it's outside in the nature, beauty, whether it's another person, whether it's a particular car or a home. There's something about those things that attract us, and it draws on our idea. We see ourselves with that person in that place or doing that thing, whatever it happens to be. And this is where we start to understand too. We discover, why is it that we're here? Why are you here? Do you have a journal? Do you jot down at different moments of the day, what is it that you're thinking? What is it that you're feeling? And with that emotion, are those aligned with the destination, the direction you're wanting to go? And that's where we're going to tap into this all-encompassing power, this energetic feeling, this emotional vibration, whatever word that you want to use to describe it, called desire, burning desire. In other words, there's no plan B or plan C. This is the plan. This is the place we're going. We have a plan how to get there, and we don't have to know how. And that's where we can get caught. See, data, when we look at data, that's a very useful tool. And if we can have data that is useful, that is a tool that we can use to move towards it, that's useful data, and that's helpful to have. Yeah, just to have data and information, it's like going to school and getting an extra degree. There's no requirement for the extra degree. It's helpful when we can apply it and we take action on it. But to just have it, you can win Trivia Pursuit or Jeopardy, all those things, and that doesn't move the needle towards really where we want to be. And Napoleon Hill said it best in the chapter on desire. And we're going through 10 minutes, this abbreviated version. We're just highlighting some of the principles that Napoleon Hill talks about, is that there's a difference between wishing for a thing and being ready to receive it. No one is ready for a thing until he believes he can acquire it. We'll never be ready for something until we believe it's possible for us. We can clearly see that image of ourselves in that place, in that destination. The state of mind must be belief. And this is the chapter that I wrote in the book Quantum, You're Getting Unhacked, where I talked about making leaps, and my co-authors, we really did a great job. It's a great project to work on. Where the state of mind must be belief, not mere hope or wish. Open-mindedness is essential for belief. Closed minds don't inspire faith, courage, confidence, or teamwork. Closed minds promote isolation, being alone, And then elements of fear and force come in, where people try to force others to take certain actions because this is what they want to impose. It's very different than the power that's within each of us to move forward in that energy, that attitude, that approach. We have peace of mind because we're not trying to force other people. We're really being independent, and it's a true sense of freedom within our heart. Because remember, it takes no more effort to aim high in life and have those goals, those effectively achieving things, being places, than it does to aim low. Do you want to aim low? It's the same amount of energy, the same amount of effort, the same amount of time. Wouldn't it be easy to say, hey, if it takes that same activity, the actions, the time, why not aim to the place where we really want to be? It's not saying about being better. It's really about taking aim at whatever moves you towards where you want to go. And that's very powerful. The idea too is that there's a whole 6-step plan for this. I shared with a little bit yesterday on the formula. That formula on self-confidence comes from the faith chapter, which we'll get into, a little bit later on one of these days. Today, though, is talking about desire. It's about talking about that goal or that destination. It has to be very clear, very specific, and it can be measured. It's not something that's vague or generic. It's got to be measured. How can we measure it? Well, if you look at things like money, for example, cash is something that can be measured. If you're in a business, if you're in your career, it's hard to measure health or fitness. Health or fitness is a feeling. Each person's body is going to be uniquely different. So to say it's a number, that number isn't alone. A number is only, the weight is one factor. And there are people who are going to be healthier at a heavy weight and people who are going to be healthier at a lower weight. And more often than not, finding what is your body's equilibrium, that's the place to go. But anyway, having that destination, if you're driving a car, for example, from Boston to Chicago, Chicago is the destination. There's a group of intermediary towns along the route, yet it's not just from point to point what hotel you stay in along the way. It's Boston and Chicago as the destination, and that's where it's going. So have that, the 6 steps are have that clear destination, and then you're going to determine what is it that you're willing to do. What are the actions? How will you be of service to humanity in exchange for going to that direction? And then we have a time. It's time bound. We set this time. Now, you could set a goal to be in Chicago at the end of the day, yet is 1,000 miles really going to happen? Are you really going to get 1,000 miles in that single day? It depends on how you get there. It depends on the route you take. If you're driving, perhaps not. Yet at the same time, when it works in business and your revenue or personal finances, we're going to set that date, and that date is specific. And the big thing is that, see, this is where a lot of people go off on goals, is that you think we have to achieve the goals. And the truth is, having that goal really happens because it's about the growth that we've got. And that date is what we're looking for. However, if we don't get there by that date, we extend the date. We don't say we didn't achieve the goal. We just extend that date a little bit longer. And then after that deadline is set, we have a plan. What is the plan that we're going to get there? What are we doing in service? And how is the plan? And then we write that out in a short statement and read it in the morning and in the night. And also at moments in between. When you have a moment in the day, you read that goal statement, and it gets you, we're driving towards Chicago. We're going to get there. Right now, we're in Western Massachusetts. Then we're in New York. Then we're in Pennsylvania, Indiana, and all so forth as we get there. And we repeat that until it becomes that we've got this picture in our mind of us already being in Chicago. And that's what goal setting is like. So we've got the formula. We got the plan. We've got that energy. Remember, no more effort is required to aim high rather than accept low in misery. What's the difference for you? And where do you tap into your energetic, creative juices that give you the fuel and the energy to do what it is you want? This has been day 21 of spring cleaning for your mind. And I'm going to continue to the end of April, sharing insights, stories, and tidbits so that we all can have peace of mind and go into what we want. You have a great day.